What's good, YouTube? I know it's unusual. It's daylight in this motherfucker. But there's a reason. Alright. A while ago, I had done a review on the Sailor Moon RPG Another Story. In other words, this little game right here. We're going to be redoing this because A, I hadn't actually beaten the game at the time, and B, I actually have a late night shift where I was doing this, and then it was going to end up being 2 parts, but it's been so long that we're going to redo it again. So, now, in case you're wondering, this game, as far as I'm concerned, is what happens when you blend the Sailor Moon anime with Chapters of the Chosen Dragon Quest IV, which is actually a very high compliment from moi, because if anybody knows, both of these are in very high regard from yours truly. So let's get into it. First, let me give you the storyline to the game. Alright. The game will take place with the hope that you at least have seen up to Season 3. Now, the reason is because it's going to cover Classic, R, and S. Okay? It's also going to cover some original material, which now we can officially get into the storyline. All is well in the universe. The Deathbusters have been defeated. Ale and N, they're nowhere to be found. The 4 Phantoms, they're gone. And so is Queen Beryl. So yes, we've already backtracked. But what would happen if somebody tried to rewrite history? That, my friends, is where this story starts. You see, everyone knows the 5 inner senshi. And for those of you who don't, here you go. Sailor Moon, Sailor Mars, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Venus. Boom, done. Or Usagi, Amy, Ray, Makoto, Mina. Okay? The game will be played out over 5 chapters, each one doing a different part of the storyline. The first is called Her Destiny, which will essentially deal with a lot, center around Sailor Moon, and the other chapters later, including Chapter 2, which is one of the longest chapters in the game, will center around different other things. For example, in Chapter 2, when you have to go search for different stones, you're going to be dealing with using the 4 other senshi outside of Sailor Moon. Much like you would kind of use the other 4 characters in Chapters of the Chosen. This game does break some conventions, and I will explain them right now. In a standard RPG, and I'm not going to use the term JRPG anymore, by the way. In a standard RPG, your magic power must be replenished by staying at an inn or using certain items. This game doesn't do that. It actually uses a different way of handling that. What does it do? Well, your characters are automatically your character's cap for magic points is 12. Can never go any higher. In this game, your magic points are referred to as EP. Okay? And they're represented by little jewels that are put on the bottom of your screen. They automatically are replenished after every battle. That is the only thing that is replenished after every battle. Your HP doesn't go back, it will not be replenished until you go up a level. or you stay at an inn or use an item such as a bento box, excuse me, negator set, yaga soup, or whatever. The the maximum number of items you're allowed to hold, the maximum number of any one item you're allowed to hold is 99. This game does have 2 endings, and they're both reflected around the final boss. If you can beat the final boss outright, you get the good ending. If not, you get to face him again, piss easy, and oh, by the way, you get a not so good ending. This game does have some completionist aspects to it, in that there are 2 different mini games, 2 different mini quests that you'll be able to do in this game. The first is collecting all the collectible items in the game. The second deals with a puzzle that you get in the game. Now, how do you complete the puzzle? By getting the puzzle pieces in item drops, or finding hidden pieces throughout the game. Matter of fact, the hidden pieces are mandatory to complete the puzzle. If you don't get those, you can't complete the puzzle. That's just a fact. I am going to warn you, if you're not one of those people that doesn't like level grinding, this game is a bitch. Because there will be a lot of times where you're going to have to do some heavy level grinding when it comes to the game. And, excuse me. You're going to have to, excuse me. You're going to have to learn patience real quick. You are going to face a lot of enemies that are familiar if you've seen at least these first 3 seasons. Okay? You are going to face Queen Beryl from Series 1. You are going to face Rubius and the 4 Phantom Sisters from Season 2. You're also going to face Black Lady from Season 2. Yes, that's that's Chibi Usami's evil form. You also get the pleasure, and I use that term loosely, of facing Professor Tomo, which is 5, and Mistress 9 from Series 3. So this game is going to give you a crash course if you haven't exactly seen up to Season 3. If you're one of those people that got the unfortunate displeasure of seeing only up to Season 2, this game will be interesting for you to play. I will tell you that you don't face the Witches 5. Spoiler alert. Yeah, here's a spoiler alert for you. You will not face the Witches 5 until the end of the game. By then you should be able to completely own them, however. Or there are some bosses that will drive you completely nuts in this game. Yeah. Let's put it this way. The original enemies that you're going to face are called the Apacito Senshi. Now they are, and I'm going to do this in the order of the actual opposites. Oops, there we go. Usagi-chan's Apacito is called Sin. Mercury's is called a Nabu. Mars's is called a Negro. Give me a minute. Jupiter's is called Marduk. And Ishtar is Minakos. You will inevitably face all 5 of them. You'll even face 4 of them twice. Actually, in all cases, or in the case of 1, you'll face her 3 times. That one's going to be Nabu, who's a bit of a It was a real pain in the ass, let me tell you. How long will it take you to complete this game? See, now that depends. How much level grinding do you want to do? Because by the time that I had gone through the game and completed it, I had one character completely maxed out as far as her HP, and most every other character has 700, between 7 to 800 HP. That's no joke. So you can imagine what their defense and their attack power and their defense was like, right? Or as I like to call it, their A&D, right? The game does allow you to do joint attacks with different characters, but I never figured out how to do them. Not that you need them, because once you know how to do, once you know some of the ins and outs of some of the bosses, you can smash through them easily. You're going to be using a lot of characters for defense, though, or as healers specifically, because to put it mildly, the attack power on a lot of these characters, some of these characters, is abysmal. But that does not detract from the fun. Believe me, this game, even if you're not a Sailor Moon fan, even if you're just a JRPG fan and you like especially the Dragon Quest series, you'll enjoy this game because of the way it played out. I actually, well, I'm going to tell you this now. I enjoy Another Story more than I'm enjoying playing, or trying to play, excuse me, the sequel that somebody created called Moonchild. That game is just frustrating because it breaks that game breaks the convention of the stronger you get, the less damage you get. Yeah, bullshit. That's not the way that game works. But this game, that's exactly how it works. And there's at least 2 items in that game that'll make you stupid powerful. Actually, unofficially, there's 12. But 1 you can't get unless you complete the puzzle. 2 you find in treasure chests. So, here's a question. Would I recommend this game for you if you're an RPG nut? Of course. If you love RPGs, I suggest you either find this game off of eBay, find it on a website, or hell, play a ROM. You'll enjoy it, I guarantee you. Scale of 1 to 10, we'll give it about 9.5. Why do I take that half point off? Well, simply because there is a point where the grinding can get really bad. And I mean really, really bad. But that's the deal. That is the review. I will talk to you all later tonight.